Greetings, beloved beings, fellow travelers on this planet, and guests from other realms. My name is Izobel Freeman, and I'm going to be doing a general reading for the collective for the month of June, 2018. Hope you all had an amazing Sagittarius full moon. That super psychic and loving grand water trine is in full effect, giving us a beautiful start to June. If you're just joining us, welcome. And if you're not new, but missed the last couple of readings, you'll notice I'm not doing the astrological forecast because I've switched to a once-a-month release schedule. Instead of trying to cram a month's worth of astrology into the beginning of each reading, I'm referring you all to two of my favorite astrologers here on YouTube, Levine for general forecasts, and Kelley Rosano for more personalized forecasts for each zodiac sign. I'll include links to their channels in the description of this video. May's energy was really intense with that Uranus into Taurus shift. And June looks like the momentum might be changing. So let's see what the guides have to say and get right to the cards, shall we? As I do in every reading, I'm going to begin by lighting my little candle for my beautiful spirit kitty Pinky, who was in physical with me until 2015 and was and still is my greatest spiritual teacher. All right, everyone. Welcome to June, and the Sagittarius full moon, such positive energy, just such wonderful, supportive energy. With that grand water trine, in fact, we've got this lovely undercurrent of Jupiter with Neptune and Venus all in water signs, and that's all supportive of our emotions, all kind of coaxing us into allowing ourselves to express super psychic abilities with Neptune, our love-based true spiritual identities with Venus, and Jupiter just kind of overlooking everything like a protective father who really wants us to do well here on planet Earth. So that's just a wonderful, amazing energy to start with. That's going to be hanging around, especially these the 2 days of the 1st and the 2nd this weekend. So it's a great weekend to be loving. It's a great weekend to open yourself up to higher mind and to what the universe has in store for you without fear. It's just kind of like a big comfy blanket around all of us as we're going through this kind of crazy Uranus into Taurus shift. Those of you for whom that shift has really rocked your life this month, in the past month of May, I'm with you. There's a lot going on right now, and Chiron hanging out in the first degrees of Aries is also sort of fostering that shift, and it's very cathartic. And this month, we're looking at some of that energy. There was a high momentum in May because of the Uranus shift, but in June, it looks like the momentum actually might be slowing down. It doesn't mean there's not a lot going on in June. It just means that, frankly, we've got a lot of planets turning retrograde by the end of the month. And when planets go retrograde, we've already got 3 big planets. We've got Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto retrograde right now. Those are outer planets. Saturn is kind of on the cusp of being inner and outer, so we're feeling the Saturn retrograde the most. But the outer planets, when they go retrograde, it's more of an undercurrent sort of subconscious energy, but we're going to have even more retrogrades by the end of the month, and so we're all turning inwards. It's almost like this Uranus shift into Taurus is making us all sort of reevaluate stuff that's really important to us in our lives, and that is okay. It's a time for kind of rethinking what really matters, especially Uranus and Taurus, because it's all about structure. And as I said in the last reading, Taurus is all about the nitty-gritty of living in physical reality. And that involves lots of things like food and health and money and things that are just really in our face and real. So yeah, a lot of us, things getting shaken up in lots of kind of integral areas of our life. So let's figure out, as I like to do in every reading, what the overall energy is by just flipping this lovely tarot deck over, this angel tarot deck, and seeing what we've got. Okay, we've got the Emperor, Archangel Michael, organization and logic, structure and discipline, leadership. This energy is totally foundational. This is completely what I was just talking about with that Uranus into Taurus shift. Foundational stuff. The number 4 numerologically is very much earth-based reality. It is 4 directions like north, south, east, and west. It's the 4 sides of a square. And the square is the structure that is the most built by human beings. It's like foundational in a way that makes us feel secure. Like we've got 4 walls around us, or we've got 4 legs on a table, 4 legs on a chair that we can really rest our weight on. And that means kind of going within and realizing that we've got some very real earth-based work to do right now. Uranus into Taurus has shifted the energy, shifted our focus to real life real life subjects. As I said, food, health, the environment, the sustainability of our existence here on planet Earth. 4 also points to Earth as not only just an element, but our planet. And Archangel Michael, being the emperor of all of the angels, the big daddy of all the angels, he is obviously fostering us through this very pivotal and very central restructuring that we're all working on. The Emperor card in traditional tarot usually points to the planet Jupiter, the king, the big daddy of all the planets. It can point to the signs of Aries and Scorpio. So Jupiter being in Scorpio right now and also being retrograde means that we are all going within to really address these things within ourselves. This also feels a lot like Saturn in Capricorn. And as we go into the reading, hopefully it'll come out in the cards, but the 2 moons that are going on, the new moon and the full moon for June, are very Saturn-based. And Saturn, a lot of people call him the Lord of Karma or Father Time. He's the planet that really makes us step up and take responsibility here in 3D space-time reality. He's the one who asks you, have you done your homework? Have you manifested yourself physically in this 3D game the way that you really want to, that's in the most alignment with your soul's purpose? Are you living your integrity every single day? And are you exercising your own power? This is a card that's heavily about power, and this is personal power. Are you living as a sovereign being in 3D space-time reality with integrity, with honor, without giving away your power to external authority figures, taking that power for yourself and doing what you want with your life? Yeah. And structure and discipline are a lot part of that. These words kind of get a bad rap because we're scared of these things. We're scared of being disciplined. We're scared of being judged. But I think I said a little in the last reading and maybe the reading before, what we want is to be judged worthy. Whenever we come up and we step up in life and we have some challenge that we really have to overcome or some accomplishment we really want to realize in our lives, we want to be judged worthy. We want to be told we've got what it takes. And yes, we're good. And what we have done is good. And what we are is good. And this energy must be something that comes out of ourselves. And like I said, Saturn's heavily involved in both the new moon and the full moon of this month. Jupiter is in Scorpio. Chiron is in Aries, making us rethink our old wounds and all of our old baggage and helping us heal from those things. So we've got quite a few elements going on that really lend themselves to this Emperor energy. And so the takeaway from this card that I'd like you all to just kind of focus on for this reading is, am I the sovereign of my life right now? Am I my own authority figure? Am I loving myself and my life's purpose enough to have the discipline, to put the structures in place, to step up and be a leader, to organize and logically look at my goals and my outcomes that I would like to experience, And am I putting all of those things to work in 3D physical reality, the way that Saturn in Capricorn is asking us to do, the way that Jupiter in Scorpio, and both of these planets retrograde, meaning that we're going inside to ask ourselves these serious questions. Are we doing this? Is this our energy right now? And if not, why not? If we're not taking this authority, if we don't see ourselves this way as the sovereign of our own life, why? And then maybe Chiron can help us clean out the stuff that is making us disempowered or afraid or hurt in some way, that is kind of keeping us from living this reality. Beautiful. Great overall energy. I'm going to begin shuffling for what I call my quick cross spread. And I've had some people remark that this quick cross spread is not so quick. My readings are actually quite long and in depth, and that's just the way that Spirit wants them to be. I do my best to be as concise as possible, but there's a lot that comes through, especially when I want to read for the collective. The collective has so much going on, and so I don't want to skimp on what I'm giving you guys because, you guys, girls, and everyone in between, because I know that if I say the right thing in the right way, or if I say a certain thing and evoke something for someone, that might be exactly what that person needed to hear in that moment. And I never want to be able to, I never want to hold that back. But yes, the reason I call it my quick cross is because I wanted to invent a spread that was pretty, like I said, concise, that had a card exactly where I wanted to know, in the position that I wanted to know about, giving me the meaning that I wanted. And it wasn't like the traditional spreads, like, say, the Celtic cross. If you look up on Google the Celtic cross spread, this is the most famous tarot cross, the tarot spread. It has cards just everywhere. And after a while, I kind of used to forget what each position was for and how it was relevant to me. And I wanted to simplify it. And this is the spread that came to me with the guidance of Spirit when I first began reading cards. So the first position in the quick cross spread is the sort of past into recent, recent past into present card, sort of where we've been and what we're hanging out in energy-wise as a collective right now. Next position is going to be the present into near future. And you can see I'm shuffling in this very sort of mushy, loose way so that cards will do this. They will just flip out of the deck when they need to. These two cards are heavily related most of the time because they hinge on the ever-present moment. The moment where we have all our power. Every iota of our manifestational power lives in the present moment. At every moment, you can decide a new direction in your life. At every moment, you can decide whether or not you're going to continue believing the way that you have, continue exercising your power or not exercising your power, or exhibiting the same behaviors that you have before. That choice is always in the now. We can say, oh yeah, in the future I wanted to do something, or in the past I did something and I can't change it now, but our power is in the now. And so this moment is always very pivotal. So these cards, often related, sometimes build on each other, sometimes are a choice. So we'll see how it goes. The next position is going to be the beginning of a vertical that is sort of a snapshot of where someone or the collective is at this moment. Mind or higher mind, heart or body subconscious wisdom. And I really like to get that snapshot because this is the way that the guides can tell us what to focus on. I really feel like these two cards are popping out, so I'm going to let them. Sometimes we do get two cards for one position. We haven't done that in a little while. And when that happens, the readings get long, and I'm going to try to shave off as much time as I can while still giving you what you need to hear. Okay, so we've got mind or higher mind, and let's see what the heart has to say. Okay. Heart card and Body Subconscious Wisdom. This card wants to come right off the bottom, so I'm going to let it. The next position is what I like to call the help position, and this is where the guides can give us advice on what can help us in our journey, whether that be mental, spiritual, emotional, or physical aid, or sometimes it's a cautionary card. Sometimes it's a subject that we haven't been looking at that we really need to take a closer look at in our lives. And that's been happening of late. We've been getting some cautionary cards, which are okay. I mean, if I needed to focus on something and I really just wasn't, I'd want somebody to tell me. So let's see here. Oh, this card wants to come off. Last card is what I like to call what some people like to call the outcome position. I like to call it, because I'm doing a collective reading and I don't really like to say people can predict the future because all of our power's in our now and we always have a choice. There is a general probable direction, and that's what I like to call it. The highest probable direction that we're going to be moving in as a collective in the month of June. Oh, there's one. Nice. All right, here is our spread. Let's see where we've been hanging out, recent, past, into present. Ace of Air, yes. Brilliant new ideas and inspirations, that lightning strike. Seeing the truth of a situation, a challenging beginning. Yes, absolutely. We've got this newness happening. Uranus has gone into Taurus, and Uranus is definitely this air energy. Yes. Ace, the beginning, a brand new beginning. And air, all about the mind. And sometimes this is like Mercury mind, like conscious mind, our intellect, our problem-solving mind. And sometimes this is Uranus, which is higher mind. Like I said, lightning strike, genius, our ability to somehow have that aha moment, that unexplainable aha moment, that eureka moment, when we suddenly solve a problem or an invention just comes to us wholesale, or a story or a piece of music, we dream about it. Something happens miraculously. And this is absolutely Uranus into Taurus energy. It's a challenging beginning because it's shaking us up in those areas of Taurus. Taurus is the youngest of the earth signs, and Taurus is all about survival. It's all about what we are doing to really keep ourselves alive here in 3D space-time reality. We are, it's about having enough to eat. It's about, do we have enough money to put food on the table? It's about our health. Is our body functioning the way that we want it to? We haven't gotten past our own baby steps of, are we surviving? The later earth signs you can get into, say, like Virgo, and Virgo is about putting spin on things, about how to do things just so. We've got some culture in there with Virgo. And Capricorn is about heavy essential structures of government and rules and societal stuff. So it's grown way beyond us and our own stuff. It's become a collective thing. But Taurus is about these baby steps. And are we getting what we want to eat? And are we functioning as just a physical being? And when Uranus shakes up stuff in Taurus, it can be really threatening. It can be really feel like, oh my goodness, I may not survive this. And that's why it's a challenging beginning. But brilliant new ideas and inspirations are coming to us to help us with these very basic issues. Beautiful. I'm excited about this. We've had Ace of Air at the end of our spread recently, and so this is good. This is a continuation of that story. Gorgeous. All right, present into near future. 8 of water, a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual and emotional growth. This is that card that I always point out as being, everyone looks at it and they go, oh, well, it looks kind of negative because it's all dark and scary and this person has their back to us and there's a shadowy figure in the water. But really, this is a positive card. This is new, wanting to see the bigger picture in some way, getting beyond the basics of survival and really wanting to bring the genius of spirit here to earth through the wisdom of our heart center. Water cards are all about emotions. And this could really be pointing to the eternal. 8 is an eternal number. If you take 8 and you turn it on its side, it's that lovely infinity symbol. So 8 always points to our eternal nature, and water is our emotions in our heart. So this points to that gorgeous grand water trine that begins the month, and it's actually going to be hanging out in one form or another into the later parts of the month. We're going to get some planets switching up positions, but there is going to be some semblance of grand water trine energy, and especially Jupiter trine Neptune energy for pretty much the majority of the month. We've got an expansion of our psychic ability. Neptune is all about psychic ability and spirit and reaching beyond what is visible in the world. And Jupiter's that great expander, the magnifying glass that really, he's jubilant and jolly. There's a reason for that word jovial, because Jove is Jupiter's alternate name. So, the desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual, and emotional growth. This mer person has done all they can in life to do the right things, to follow the rules, to accomplish the things that they are supposed to. This is pointing to some of us needing to switch careers, some of us needing to seek deeper meaning in our lives. If you've gone as far as you can doing all the right things, and again, this is another Uranian, Uranus and Taurus theme, where if you've been focused on physical, monetary abundance and success most of your life, and you've been really working hard on those aspects of bringing in all the things that you need and doing all the visible accomplishments that you need to have in your life, but they're not satisfying. This is that feeling of doing all the right things and still not being satisfied. You see these goblets in the foreground here. They're all beautiful and golden and quite valuable. To anyone who sees them, you can perceive their value. And yet, this mer person is looking behind them into this murky and open horizon where they don't know what's out there in the unknown. This is the known, and it may be beautiful and valuable, but there's something out there that calls. And it calls to the soul. So when you've got that deeper stuff going on, it's almost like you can't pay attention to this anymore. Maybe some of you, because of this lightning strike, this Uranian upset, are really shifting themes in your life. So yeah, if you are at this point where you've had some sort of inspiration, and it's going to be that thing where people on the outside are not necessarily going to get your need to change things up, because from their perspective, you've got all this value going on. And maybe you've got a track record, or maybe you've got tenure somewhere, or maybe you've got, you're on the way to getting some sort of benefit or hitting some sort of benchmark, or maybe you're going to get a promotion somewhere where you're working. Or maybe you've got a storied history in a relationship. This is a water card. But there's something more, some unexplainable thing that your soul is telling you needs to change. And this could really be happening for some of you this month. And you need to follow that. You can't not, because this is the call of the soul. And so let's see how this develops. These are very beautiful cards in the present moment. And these are at work in my life too. I gotta tell you, this is totally on theme for me. This need to do something more with life. Maybe it's that feeling of there must be more. All right, so we got 2 cards for the mind or higher mind position. I am going to take a look at the card that got drawn first, the one that got laid down first. The Page of Air. Logical, honest, impulsive, curious, challenging information, delays or changes to plans, truth delivered, possibly without tact. This is our first court card on the board, and court cards often symbolize real people who are coming into your life. So those of you who are on the lookout for help in your endeavors, new people, or a person who maybe has not taken center stage in your life yet is going to come to the fore, who could possibly be an air sign. So look out for those Aquarius, Geminis, and Libras in your life. And the thing about air signs is they're great communicators, but many of them have no tolerance for BS. You can see this sword in her hand, and she means business. And she's very loving, but she also will not take your crap. So if some of you are sticking your heads in the sand about this change you need to make in your life, and your soul's purpose that is calling you, and air signs will be able to see that from the outside, because air signs have this kind of bird's eye view of life. That's why they're air signs. They hang out in the air above everything. They're not really down in the trenches in everyday quotidian stuff. They're kind of hanging out like the helicopter forecaster, giving you sort of that bird's eye view of the situation. They're great tacticians. They're great generals for overall big movements that humanity needs to make in the world. And that being said, they do not take personal excuses. They don't take crap. And so they're going to be able to point out if you're BSing yourself, if you're just hiding, if you're not doing what you really need to do out of fear. And just expect that truth might be delivered without tact, but that it comes from a loving place, that it comes from a place that is good for you. And yeah. And so this could also be the preponderance of Mercury energy that's going on through June. Mercury, the Page of Air, being the sort of younger court card, feels like Mercury mind. And there's a lot of Mercury, especially at new moon. On the 13th, we've got the new moon in Gemini, and Gemini's ruling planet is Mercury. And at that time, Mercury is doing some pretty heavy stuff. It is making this T-square between, it's opposing Saturn in Capricorn. Mercury is opposing Saturn in Capricorn. It's in Cancer, and Mercury gets sort of hypersensitive in Cancer. So watch out for this truth delivered without tact, friends. Around the new moon, people are going to get kind of sensitive and spiky. People are going to be, because Mercury's going to have gone into Cancer by that time, like the day before. And Mercury in Cancer is sort of hypersensitive, right? It means that our minds are going to get a little paranoid. We're going to get a little too sensitive to how people talk to us, or we may say something without meaning to that may come off like we're delivering truth without tact, and people might get spiky with us. So just look for that around the 12th or the 13th of the month, because it's new moon and because Mercury is opposing Saturn, which never makes any planet feel so good because it's in Saturn's crosshairs of judgment. Are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? And so it's forming a T-square. Mercury is opposing Saturn at the new moon, and it's also forming a T-square, a shape that's called a T-square. When a planet opposes another planet, you have sort of a tug of war, a battle of wills between the two. And when another planet is hanging out right at a 90 degree angle, 245s, to that opposition, we have what's called a T-square. And that's a very tense setup where you've got just spiky energy. And Chiron being about our wounds, our deepest wounds, our old stuff, means that around the new moon, some of us are going to be talking about our old wounds and cleaning out some stuff for ourselves. And so just be gentle with each other. Be gentle with yourself. Make sure your mind isn't running down the rabbit hole of negativity. And take any advice, especially that you get from fellow air signs, Mercurian people, with a grain of salt, and make sure that you're realizing that it's not personal. It is for your growth. So yeah, higher mind and higher mind, I want you to know. Let's see what's going on in the second card for mind and higher mind. Aha, Queen of Earth. Thoughtful, creative, warm, and sensible. Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach. Deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. This is what you want to reach for, especially during that kind of spiky, sensitive new moon. We've got brand new Uranus and Taurus energy that is giving us this opportunity to reinvent everything that has to do with Earth in our life. Abundance and our own health, women's health, totally a Uranus and Taurus subject. So this upset giving us this Ace of Air opportunity, giving some of us this need to expand ourselves and search for a higher purpose in life that is also connected to real abundance, real taste it, touch it, see it, smell it, spend it abundance. And so this is the gift. This could be also another person. This is a court card. Another person that could be entering your life to teach you to balance maybe what's going on in your Mercury mind and being this hypersensitivity coupled with Chiron healing that you need to be doing. This could be a restructuring of your belief system so that you can be more like this. And yeah, this could be, again, another person, an earth sign. So yeah, watch out for those Tauruses, Virgos, and Capricorns in your life, coming into your life to give you stability, to help you not take yourself so seriously, not let that spiky Mercury energy run away with you, and to focus on realizing your dreams in a 3D space-time actual experienceable way. Yeah. This is beautiful. This is beautiful energy. This could also be what we're aiming for. These feel like the energies of the two moons. This is new moon energy, meaning we've got to really focus on having emotional intelligence. Mercury in Cancer and the moon being in Gemini. Mercury, like I said, rules Gemini. And the moon actually rules Cancer. So when you have that happening where the two planets that are heavily involved, are swapping signs, it's like we're house sitting for each other. And that means we can maybe walk in each other's shoes a little bit and start to understand each other a little bit. It's called mutual reception in astrology. And when that happens, these planets are sort of, like I said, walking a little bit in each other's shoes and learning each other's wisdom. So Gemini new moon on the 13th is all about emotional intelligence. The moon being about our deep emotions and our instincts, and Mercury being about our mind. So realizing that, yeah, people could be spiky, but it's also a great opportunity to bring our mind and our emotions into balance so that we can start something beautiful and new. New moons are all about new beginnings. And if that grand water trine has to say anything about it, it's a new beginning that will expand not only our psychic abilities, but our opportunities in the world to be part of something bigger, to be part of a giant, beautiful, spiritual uprising that is happening, this wave that's coming for us, this evolution for us as a collective that will also translate to great, beautiful abundance. This Queen of Earth, I was talking about the Page of Air feeling like the Gemini new moon. The Queen of Earth card feels like the Capricorn full moon. The Capricorn full moon, depending on whether you're on the East Coast or the West Coast of the US, is happening either Thursday the 28th, very late, or Friday the 29th, really early in the morning. But it is a full moon in Capricorn. And so the moon is going to be in Capricorn conjunct Saturn. And I may have said this before, but I may have not said it in the last couple of readings. Sexes don't really matter as far as these court cards go. You can see that these are female figures, but these could be also male or male people or people who don't identify as either in your life. But the energy is what is important. So this feels, again, like Capricorn full moon energy. This is all about, because the moon is going to be conjunct Saturn, the divine feminine emotional intelligence of the moon is going to couple with the responsibility and let's make things real nature of Saturn. Let's bring our psychic ability, our emotional intelligence to Earth and make our planet into an abundant, sustainable, gorgeous place. The place that we know in our dreams is possible. And so yeah, there's a lot going on at Capricorn full moon as well. There is still that Chiron T-square hanging out, but now it's going to be moon on one end of the opposition with Saturn, sun on the other end, because every full moon is a moon-sun opposition. It makes us balance our outward sort of solar, let's be public in the world energy with our internal lunar, let's be psychic and emotionally intelligent energy. So this is needing to be balanced. But Chiron is still hanging out there in that T-square relationship for the Capricorn full moon. And so this is going to make us really heal all of those wounds. Maybe the stuff that we've been sticking our heads in the sand, and the Gemini new moon is going to awaken us to, if those air signs start pointing out, hey, these are the places in your life where you're really not acting in concordance or in accord with your true self. And by the time Capricorn full moon rolls around, it's the maturation of that energy so that we can achieve balance, take responsibility for realizing our dreams, and yet still do it in a kind and understanding manner, balancing the needs of ourself and those people outside of us, but really making sure that we're accomplishing what we want, but still nurturing ourselves. This is the balance. This is the message of the Capricorn full moon. So up here in mind or higher mind, and now it's feeling like a handshake between mind and higher mind, because we've got all this Mercury energy for Gemini new moon, and we've got a lot of earthy Saturn, let's take responsibility and make things real, opposed by the sun in Cancer, which is that divine feminine self-nurturing energy. The recognition that in order to be a powerhouse in the world, I cannot deplete myself. I must make myself whole and then be generous. This is gorgeous. These are the 2 moons of the month. And we should keep these themes in mind. Beautiful. Okay, let's see what's going on in the heart. King of Air. Brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic. Speak your mind with confidence, seek out professional advice, balance mental and emotional considerations. Well, if this is Mercury mind, this is definitely Uranian mind. I love this energy being in the heart. This is Uranus into Taurus really coming home so that we're learning the lesson of this shift, so that we're merging these 2 beautiful energies. Doesn't he feel so grounded? Even though he's an air card, even though he's an air sign, possibly another air sign coming into your life. Again, another Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. Or I should mention that core cards sometimes are not necessarily people who are external to you. Sometimes they can be aspects of you that are coming to the fore, that are coming forward, that may not have taken the spotlight before, that now need to because you need to evolve. This is gorgeous. Okay, so whether or not this is a person who comes into your life, or whether it is aspects of you that are now taking more of center stage, this is you being confident. This is you bringing that Uranian aha, lightning strike, genius energy to Earth, merging these 2 energies. You can see how confident this figure is. I really love to look at this illustration and break it down a little bit, because here in the background, you have this gallery of the peanut gallery. I like to call them the haters. You can see this kind of chaotic crowd of energy of people, these are the people on Twitter. These are the people looking at you from the outside, and they all have an opinion about this new direction that you possibly want to go in, or this new self-image that you want to embody, or this new idea that you want to bring to reality. And often those people, they have lots of opinions, and those opinions aren't always so useful. They're just kind of loud and obnoxious, and they distract you from what you need to do in your life. And you can see this kingly figure, this beautiful royal kingly figure walking on by. He's got focus. He's got like fire on the end of this sword. You can see the fire of spirit and the focus. Hopefully you can see the focus and intention inside, and walking on by and just not caring, not giving a rip what these people have to say, and speaking your mind with confidence and seeking out professional advice when you need to, getting that, maybe the truth delivered without tact, but with well-meaningness. Balance mental and emotional considerations, just like that Gemini new moon is going to ask you to do. And you can see here in the foreground, I love to point this out, this is fall foliage, this is autumn leaves here on the ground. This is showing that this person has been through some life, has been around the block a couple times, possibly had their share of hard knocks, and learned through trial and error not to care so much what everyone else is saying, and to focus on the wisdom that is coming from their soul, from their higher mind. Beautiful. Really nice, empowering air cards on the board for this reading. Let's see what's going on in body subconscious wisdom. 9 of fire. Don't give up. Protect that which you've created. Have courage and believe in yourself. Do I need to say anything more about this? This is at root level. This is spiritual alchemical fire at work in your life. Wow, we are really getting the lesson of this Ace of Air, Uranian, Taurus shift. We're getting the message from that grand water trine that says expand ourselves in our heart and our spirit and move forward, not only balancing emotional and mental concerns, but bringing our dreams to earth in a loving way that allows us to balance the needs of others and our own needs. So self-nurturing and generosity at once. And then turning ourselves into these empowered sovereign beings. This is Emperor energy, just rolling through this entire spread. Let's see how it manifests. I'm so excited about this. This is, like I said, alchemical spiritual fire. Fire cards are about literally the fire of spirit, the spark of life from which we came and from which we come in every moment. And so you can see this beautiful heroic figure and her dragon familiar, ready for anything, ready to face whatever challenges are before them, unapologetic for who they are, not needing to worry about the opinions of others, secure in themselves. So this is at root level. This is the message of your own body. And those of you who have been going through those sort of challenges, there's been some challenging cards come up in the last couple of readings. Those of you who have been going through those challenges, the challenges are turning you into this heroic figure. This is a crucible that you are going through. The fire of your own spiritual transformation. And it looks like some of you are really getting the message and taking that to heart. The power comes from within you at a root level. This is pointing to the need to go within when you feel confused, to sit with yourself, to connect with your own guidance above all else. It doesn't matter what everybody else is saying. It doesn't matter how noisy the world is. It doesn't matter how crazy things look on the surface. You always had this divine spark of wisdom within. And it looks like some of us really have it going on this month. Lessons are being learned, transformation is happening, and we're heroing up on a huge level. Gorgeous. Okay, let's see what the help card has to say. King of Water, trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice, charity work. Okay, another water card. and another court card. So it looks like we've got all elements on the board right now. We've got quite a few air-based cards because, again, there's a lot of Uranus and there's a lot of Mercury going on. But there's also that grand water trine going on, and this is, again, that king of water energy. There could be a water sign coming into your life to help you. Lots of help being sent, looking like, from the universe to help support this hero that is growing from the root level. Wonderful. Yeah, so watch for those Pisces, Cancers, and Scorpios in your life and learn the lessons of being open-hearted and heart-based. This card, the King of Air, being in the heart position, points to, again, that emperor, sovereign, royal energy that we need to embody at this time in order to make our inner hero wake up and forge for us from the spiritual fire, all not only the emotional and spiritual and mental gifts that we have to bring forth, but also the Uranus and Taurus real stuff that we want to experience. This is having it all. This is the most high energy spread that I've done in a long time. All of these cards are just pointing to some sort of beautiful new revolution going on within many of us. Open your heart and mind to those around you. You are getting so much help. Look at this. This could point to new community. Maybe this is what this shift is about. Maybe you've gone on long enough surrounded by the peers and the groups that you are that you've been a part of and that you've been surrounding yourself with for a while. And now you're finding possibly new community. This is awesome. King of Water reminds you to stay heart-centered, to pull on that grand water trine energy of Jupiter expanding your psychic ability through Neptune. And at least at the beginning of the month, expanding heart-based, love-based energy with Venus. Later in the month, we've got a do-si-do. Around, let's see here, the 19th or 20th, Mercury, our mind friend, who has been in this kind of tough, spiky position at new moon, is going to move into Venus's position in Cancer, and now the grand water trine will be the mind. It's almost like the mind will have caught up with the heart. The mind will finally have come to the party and catch up and get the point of the energy and the lessons that we're supposed to be learning in the beginning of the month. And by the time the end of the month rolls around, we're going to get it in our heads as well as our hearts. Gorgeous. We've got nice air and water card balancing happening here. But the message of the King of Water is always to trust your heart, to realize that we are all in this together. There's been a lot of unfortunate, like us versus them, scarcity-based, fear-based energy that's been at work a long time on this planet. And what we're all going to come to realize as Uranus goes through Taurus is that collaboration is so much better than competition. It's so much better to just all band together and realize that we're all on this planet together. We can revolutionize things by looking to higher mind, by reaching within ourselves for the hidden genius, by appreciating our sovereignty and our differences, because only through our different points of view can we get a complete picture of what's going on, and maybe we have a chance at reinventing things. Because if we're all just looking at things in the same way that we always have and making a fight out of it, there's never going to be any resolution. But based on what this spread is saying, if we stay heart-based, and if we learn to balance all of these energies that we're going to focus on for new moon and full moon, and bring that Uranian, Uranus and Taurus lightning strike through our heart and also up from our root body subconscious wisdom, the planet has a lot of wisdom. I should talk about this 9 of Fire being in the root position because the planet Earth is beneath our feet. It's the home from which we came, and it is filled with fire. As anyone living on the big island of Hawaii knows right now, the earth is filled with fire. And it's transformational fire. The earth is reinventing itself all the time from the crucible of its own creation inside of the heart of the earth. Gorgeous stuff is happening, and reinvention comes through seeming destruction. And that's why this lightning strike of Uranus and Taurus, even though it has upended some things that you have possibly thought were never going to change, if we learn to balance ourselves and walk forward without fear and make a friend of fire, make a friend of seeming destruction, if the table has been flipped in some way and things that you thought were maybe fixtures in your life are suddenly not, to make a friend of this transformative process and to realize that this is the nature of even our planet, to reinvent through fire. And to make something even more beautiful. If you've ever seen the spring foliage that comes up after a forest fire, it is gorgeous. It is the most beautiful, vibrant, alive color of green that you've ever seen. And yes, absolutely, like we have gotten the Three of Air a couple of readings back, where we need to absolutely mourn those things that have passed and mourn the things that were the way they used to be before we can move on. It looks like many of us are ready. We have taken our time to integrate, and now we're ready to face that open horizon as a fearless warrior, ready to embrace the changes that the alchemical fire has brought to us. Gorgeous. All right, let's see where the most probable direction things are going to be moving with the collective are. The Knight of Earth. Loyal, dedicated, honorable, and kind. Time to buckle down and get things done. Honor your commitments. You have a guardian angel. Yet another court card. Look at the cadre of help that we have. Knights, pages, kings, and queens. And this beautiful ace. So much going on. This reason. This thing that we want. This newborn idea. Possibly of a loving and unified planet that is abundant and inspiring. And we have the heroic fire to make it actually happen. The Knight of Earth, again, this could be yet another earth sign coming into your life. So watch for Tauruses, Virgos, and Capricorns in your life. The Knight of Earth is, this is a not fast moving energy. This points to our need to have patience during this Uranus in Taurus cycle. Uranus is going to be in Taurus for 7 years, folks. And that number 7, not only is it our lucky 7 numerologically, it is, I think I've said this in either the last reading or the one before, 7 years is the number of years that it takes for your body, your physical cellular body, to reinvent itself. All the cells within your body die and are reborn within a 7-year period. You can look it up. Science says so. So this is pointing to the fact that the next 7 years are pivotal in realizing the 3D space-time reality that you want to live. The job you want to be doing, the friends you want to have, the body you want to have, the home you want to have, the stuff you want to have, and the love and relationships that you want to have with the people around you. It's kind of everything. This is that Taurus energy. This is a very Taurus card because the Knight of Earth, it's a slow-moving, steady, but guaranteed energy. That is the key term to take away from this. Knight of Earth does not make things happen fast, but Knight of Earth always gets there. It's like slow and steady wins the race. So yes, time to buckle down and get things done. This is the message of the Capricorn full moon by the end of the month. Again, 28th or 29th, depending on where you are. Take responsibility for your life. Become the sovereign of your own life. Be your own emperor figure. Buckle down and get those things done that are really important to you. Honor your commitments to yourself first. This is overwhelmingly because we have so much royalty going on the board, including the emperor. This is commitments to self. And then when you have filled up your own cup, when you have the energy that is overflowing from you, then you can turn around and be benevolent and generous to others. It's sort of like put your own mask on before you help others on the plane. So, yes, and during all these things, you have a guardian angel, just like Archangel Michael from the beginning of the spread. You have so much non-physical help. I mean, these court cards often point to physical help, actual people coming into your life, but in addition to that, you have a cadre, a posse of non-physical energies watching over your evolution. We all do as a collective, watching over our evolution on planet Earth at this time because it's such a pivotal shift. Uranus into Taurus is really a big deal. So many things that we have been wanting for so long are actually going to come into physical reality. This is where we get ours, friends. It is. And not coming fast, but coming guaranteed. And this is why this spread is so empowering. There is not a cautionary card on this spread. Look, completely positive, empowered spread. Even this one, and I know how it looks. But the desire to move on and expand and be more than what you were, that's not a bad thing. Being uninterested in the things that you used to be interested in, that's not a bad thing either. It just means you're growing. And so move forward with confidence, without fear. Realize that you're a hero on the deepest level. And put your trust in the fact that your stuff is coming. May not be coming fast, but it is coming. It's a guarantee at this point. Beautiful. Like I said, I have not seen a spread like this for a long time, if ever. So very excited. I don't think any of these need to be clarified. I think we all know where we're going. We want our stuff for real. And we want it all. Emotions. We want emotions balanced, and we want our relationships to be solid and trustworthy, and we want our mind to be clear, and we want our connection to higher mind to be focused and clear so that we can get these aha, Uranian lightning strike, eureka moments. And we know that the fire of heroism is burning within us. And we're done. We're done with the old ways of being. And we're ready to move forward, even if that process takes a while. It's worth it. Wow. The theme of June. Worth it. And fun along the way. Isn't it fun to become empowered? Be your own sovereign. And your stuff is coming. So good. Okay. Wow. There's a lot of abundance on the board. There's a lot of needing to balance emotions and mental concerns and making sure that you take care of yourself and yet be open to the needs of others. I'm going to do the Abundance Angels. I put this deck on the table because I had this kind of hit that maybe we'd be talking about abundance. Okay. For those of you who have not seen this before, this is my shortcut process. This is just a quick and dirty 3-card reading that I do for myself when I just need a little guidance on one topic. So let's just see what the guides are going to give us to enhance this reading, because it doesn't need any clarification, that's for sure. But let's enhance the reading with some shortcuts. And my first step to do that is just to flip the deck. All right, windfall of abundance. An increase in abundance is arriving in many different forms, some of them unexpected. Uranus, Uranus lightning strike. Be open to receiving and know that this abundance comes to you to support your life purpose, health, and charitable work. Absolutely. One thing I didn't really, because they pin it on the end of this King of Water, charity work. Charity work and charitable work. They're reminding me to kind of just go back and pick that up. Charity work does not mean that you go out and you put yourself last and you slave away to serve others at the expense of your own dreams. That's not what the guides mean when they talk about doing things for others and being and making time for those around you. You cannot give anything to anyone if you don't have it inside yourself. And if you're depleting yourself in any way, you've got to start by filling yourself up, filling up your reservoir of energy, making sure you nurture yourself so that you have the natural inclination to say, I'm doing so well, I want everyone else in the world to do this well too. And charity work on these cards is also pointing to the fact that when you make sure that whatever Uranian and lightning strike, ace of air thing that you're working on, whether that be a new company, a new piece of art, a movie, some amazing new belief system, an invention, a paradigm, anything new that's in the works right now for your ace of air sort of inspiration, soul's purpose work, if you can figure out a way, an angle to make that thing not only good for you as your own sovereign being, absolutely pay yourself first, make sure that you're taken care of first, but if you can figure out an angle to make that thing that you're working on beautiful for everyone, benefiting all the people on the planet, and maybe, because you can see in this illustration, we've got this generous Santa figure here, giving abundance to all creatures. If you can figure out an angle to benefit as many people and consciousnesses and as possible, and even possibly the entire planet, if you can make something that you're doing good for everyone, the abundance that comes to you is magnified by, like, exponentially. This increase in abundance comes to you so fast and so unexpectedly because you're not only enriching yourself, you're enriching everyone. And if the whole planet's involved, oh my goodness, look out. It's going to happen like magic. Like you won't even be able to believe your good fortune if you can figure that out. Beautiful. So yes, make sure your soul's purpose is aligned with the good that you want to do in the world. And then nothing can stop you. Okay, second part of my shortcut process is just to cut. Visualize abundance in all forms. God, goddess, or source gave you such great spiritual power that everything you visualize eventually becomes reality. Hold a steady vision of that which is beautiful, healthful, positive, and filled with blessings, and that is what you will experience. Our power is that what it is that we focus on, whatever it is that we focus on, comes to us in some energetic or physical form. Have you ever noticed those people who, I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent here, but have you ever noticed those people who talk about bad things happening to them all the time? That continues to be the case. Like the people who say, oh, I'm always dating the wrong person, or, oh, I always get in car accidents, or, oh, these things always happen to me. Have you ever noticed that always happens to them? That's the person that you think of when you think of misfortune. It's the person who's thinking of misfortune. Well, it works the other way around too. The person who envisions success for themselves and actually believes it. Actually believes it. This is the great key, is that it's almost like you could say it this way. Your amount of self-love, your amount of expectation that you are a beloved, deserving being that is worthy of having everything that makes you happy come to you. That is what manifests in the world for you. If you don't have that belief firmly seated yet, definitely go within and work on that and say why. Like I said in the beginning with the Emperor card, why do I not believe that I deserve all things that make me joyful? Why do I not believe that I can manifest my dreams? And, listen to the reasons that come up and realize that they're not good enough. They're not good enough. Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Do you want to be that person that says at the end of your life, yep, I knew it wouldn't happen for me. And I'm right. And what does that get you, right? So make sure that you're visualizing yourself as an empowered, abundant being, because only when you are empowered and abundant can you overflow into the rest of the world and make the rest of the world a beautiful and abundant place too. Gorgeous. Hold that steady vision. And even more importantly than the visualization, some people think it's just the visualization that does it. It's the emotion, the happiness, the joy, the smiles on your face, the smiles on people's faces. I like to say, imagine yourself walking down the street, high-fiving everyone you see because that thing that you wanted just happened. And what's that day going to feel like? And imagine it as if it's now. And above all, see yourself as a beloved being that deserves that. So good. Okay, cutting. Hi, employment change. Your career path is leading you in a higher direction with positive changes to support your dreams, priorities, passions, and life purpose. Trust that these changes will help you release the old and welcome the new. You are being supported each step of the way. Look at this. A desire to move on. What did I say? Some of you are literally changing jobs right now, and it's because you need to feel more fulfilled. It's because you're done with doing things, getting up in the morning, trudging to work, doing the things that you don't love to do. And believe me, when you make that shift to something that fulfills you more, that makes you feel like you're a part of something bigger, that makes you feel like you're more important, that you're doing the thing that you truly would vault out of bed to do, abundance just, it comes to you. Like it was waiting to, like it was saying, wow, I'm glad you finally changed. Now I can come in the way that I want to, and you can get this windfall. So yes, many of you are looking at employment changes, and this could also apply to not necessarily, a lot of you are doing employment changes that are your primary monetary support. Some of you have life purpose shifts that you're doing. It might not absolutely affect stuff that you do for money. Maybe you're changing majors at school. Maybe you're shifting, like I said, peer groups or communities. Maybe you're making a move. You're moving to a new place that will be more sustainable and more supportive of your life purpose. Some of you are shifting out of relationships and partnerships. So there's big shifts happening because it's Uranus and Taurus. It's shaking up everything. Beautiful. All right, employment changes, visualize abundance in all its forms, and visualize yourself above all as a deserving being. And then that windfall of abundance is coming. And when they say abundance in all forms, it doesn't always mean monetary. Sometimes it means gifts of time or other types of enriching things that come into your life, gifts of people helping you, effort and support, or gifts of objects. So look for abundance to be coming into your life in every form that it can take. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to do the flower cards just because these are really supportive, and with all the changes and moving forward, sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of support and to know that your guardian angels are looking out for you and you're being fostered through this process. This is a natural process. Not only you're not the only one. Honestly, I'm going through this stuff. We all are. As a collective, we're making this shift upward to an upgrade that we've been looking forward to for a long time for the entire planet. So let's get some support and love, because there's that beautiful water trine. And I know these cards are pink, so they don't look like they're water-based, but they are love-based. They are emotional support-based. So since the water trine has a lot of Venus energy, and it's all in water signs, which are about heart-based energy, let's do the flower deck. Okay, take time for yourself. Enjoy relaxation activities that nurture your soul. Yeah, this is that balance between making time for those around you, but also being loving to yourself and making sure that you are getting what you need, that you're supported in all of this. You must make sure that you have self-love before you can truly give love to anyone else. Anything other than that is just you depleting yourself, or you trying to put up a brave face when things are not really working inside. But, based on this spread, awesome. We really do have a lot going for us. And yet, self-love is the undercurrent of this incredible grand water trine that we're going to be having through most of the month. Cut. Okay, financial healing, yellow lily. Oh, that's a tulip, by the way. I don't know if I read the flower name on this one. Financial healing. Your money struggles are a thing of the past. Be open to all avenues of receiving, or all avenues to receiving, and you'll be provided for in every way. Just like the abundance angels were saying, look for a windfall, look for abundance to be coming into your life in unexpected ways. It doesn't have to be just money, it could be other things too. But this yellow of the lily here points to that solar plexus chakra in the body. This is your power. This is the color of gold. This is the color of things happening on a physical level that are abundant and thriving. This could also be pointing to, I know it says financial healing on here, but for those of you who are looking for physical healing, anything in our physical body is also related to everything that's going on in the world of 3D space-time around us, because the first place we physicalize, the first place we come to this 3D space-time experience is in a body. So concentrate, those of you who want to manifest abundance, or those of you who just want to manifest healing in your life, concentrate on that brilliant gold of the solar plexus chakra. Work with some essential oils that feel golden, that give you that rich feeling, or maybe come from golden things like, for instance, lemon, oranges, lemons, anything that makes you feel like the golden light of the sun. Possibly go out into the sunlight, give yourself a little more vitamin D in your life. But yes, and for those of you who are trying to manifest both healing and abundance, work with yellow crystals or gold crystals, or wear some gold. Having that sympathetic vibration with those wise earth spirits can really get you vibrating in harmony with the abundance that you're looking for. But just trust that you're a divine, beautiful being. This heart-based pink tulip is telling you, stay heart-based, believe in yourself, realize through your solar plexus chakra, this is also the Emperor chakra from the beginning card, that you are about to be fully realized, if you aren't already, in an abundant and thriving way. Beautiful. Okay, cutting. Open your heart, red rose. Your potential for greater love rests in opening your heart. Blockages and wounds from your past will be healed, and you'll be met with the true passion you seek. Yes, not only is Venus supporting this beautiful grand water trine at the beginning of the month, but we've got some Venus energy sort of throughout the rest of the month. 5th, 6th, and 7th-ish, we've got a Venus-Pluto opposition going on, and that could give us a chance to kind of balance our last vestiges of like control issues, or needing to make things happen in our life. And later on in the month, we've got like Venus square Uranus, which could be challenging, but could also be a complete lightning strike reinvention. So those of you who are looking for love or looking to reinvent relationships, staying heart-based, realizing that you're a deserving sovereign being, someone who is deserving of love, and making sure that you love yourself first. This blockages and wounds basically points to the Chiron energy that's hanging around for both the new moon and the full moon. Chiron, for those of you who don't know, is a minor planet in the solar system. There are tons of them. He is a minor planet in the group of planets called the Centaurs. Therefore, they're named for centaurs in Greek mythology. And so Chiron has this weird orbit where he orbits between Saturn and Uranus. Like, he orbits the sun, but he passes between like the orbits of Saturn and Uranus. And in that, he sort of links the outer planets that we can't see without technology and the inner planets. Saturn is the last planet that we can see with the naked eye. And so the inner planets often are symbolic of 3D space-time reality, the physical reality that we live in and operate in day to day. And the outer planets, from Uranus on, often symbolize the sort of transpersonal space of higher mind and spirit and things that we can't see with our eyes. And so Chiron travels between the two, and he sort of is that link between the two. And that just points to our ability to heal the blockages and wounds that keep us separated from living our dreams here in 3D space-time reality. The only thing that is keeping you from experiencing all the things that you really wish for, whether that be love, health and abundance, or some sort of greater purpose, like soul's purpose thing in life, the only thing that keeps us from experiencing that is our own blockages of our own belief systems. And once we open those up, like disempowering wounds from the past, old stuff that we got programmed with when we were kids, once we open that, things pour in. New synchronicities, new people, new circumstances start to appear for us because we're no longer operating under that script that keeps us limited. All of our power comes from our own sovereignty. The universe must listen to us. If we're one of those people who says, all these bad things always happen to me, the universe has to do that for us. It has to give us bad things because we're right. We are the beloved child of the universe. And the universe is sort of like the genie in the bottle that goes, whatever you wish for, your wish is my command, right? And if we say, oh, this always happens, whatever story we tell is what the universe must deliver. Okay, so open your heart. Realize that you're beloved and deserving of love. Empower yourself through your solar plexus chakra for financial and physical healing. And take time for yourself to make sure you nurture your own development so that you can overflow with abundance and thriving into the rest of the world. Beautiful. Great shortcuts. Okay, any of my fellow tarot readers out there who would like to use my quick cross spread, I know it doesn't look like a cross right now, but you know, that's how it should be shaped when you first lay down the spread. If you would like to use these spreads, you're more than welcome to. You just need to attribute the spreads to me, Izobel Freeman, and link to my website, www.shinyallthetime.com. You can find all the attribution information that you can just cut and paste from my website at shinyallthetime.com/CC, which stands for Creative Commons. And I've made these spreads available through Creative Commons license so that you can use them with correct attribution. Also, those of you who would like to acquire any of these beautiful decks that I am using, well, I'm learning every single time I read, but that I'm using to read, you can find them at my resources page at shinyallthetime.com. It's shinyallthetime.com/resources. And just disclosure, if you do buy a deck through my resources page, you don't pay any more, like the price doesn't go up at all, but a percentage of your purchase does come back to me, a very small percentage, does come back to me to support the work that I'm doing on these reading videos and also to run my website and do little things like that. So if you purchase a deck through my resources page, I thank you in advance. Okay, let's finish this up because this is beautiful and I don't even know how you get better than this at this point, but I'm sure the guides will help us in the future. I'm going to do our Angel Answers card. All right, everyone, if you believe, what did I say? If you believe you are a sovereign, deserving, amazing, beloved child of the universe who deserves everything that you can imagine to come into physical reality so that you can experience it in joy, this is what you shall receive. And I don't know how to really expand on that message if you believe. The answer is yes. So look at this though. This is really neat. You can see here she's got, I hope you can see here, it's a little glary, but you can see she's got the entire world in her hands. And this points to that idea that if what you want, if your soul's purpose can somehow be linked to the well-being of everyone, it comes even faster and with more abundance attached to it than you can possibly imagine. But this shape here, this hexagram shape, you can recognize this, many of you, as the Star of David, but it also has an esoteric meaning in that you can see the upward pointed triangle and the downward pointed triangle. This is heaven and earth being united. This is bringing that Uranian lightning strike, higher mind, spirit energy into 3D space-time reality and uniting them so that they can be experienced and so that the world can be enriched by new things coming forth from this amazing spirit crucible. So yeah, hexagram, as above, so below, heaven and earth united. But in the center is this shape that people call the Merkaba, or the Metatron's cube. And this is our spirit body. This is the shape that is symbolic of the ethereal or spirit body that we have that spins around us when we are inspired. That is our vehicle. This is Metatron's holy chariot for bringing, again, high spiritual heavenly energy into 3D space-time reality. Amazing esoteric illustration here of having it all and being the masters of creating it all, if we believe. Gorgeous. Okay, I'm going to finish up by using our silly and bubbly and fun victory reward dice to see how we should celebrate all this amazing forward motion that we've got going on here in June. Wow, I thought I didn't even get to talk about the retrogrades because, by the end of the month, Neptune's going to go into retrograde on the 18th, and Mars is going to slow down and turn retrograde at the 26th. But as this spread is going, we're not even going to feel that really until the end of the month. So when planets slow down and go retrograde, sometimes we can kind of turn within and become really introspective, and not as much outside energy or outside movement can happen. And that might be also the meaning of this slow night of Earth, is that things are going to go retrograde for a while. We're going to have 5 planets in retrograde throughout the next month of July. Spoilers. And even into August, we're going to actually have 6 planets retrograde at some point in August. And that means things may not move as fast as you want them to, but don't worry because it's Night of Earth. Remember, it's Night of Earth time and your package is on the way and it's guaranteed to arrive. It's just kind of on the slow boat. And as the planets go retrograde, it's a really integral time for us to go within and analyze all the structures that we're building, just like the Emperor wants us to do, and make sure that we're doing it right. Make sure we're getting it the way that we want it. And we're getting time to do that. And that's a good thing, actually. So don't let that frustrate you. It's just Night of Earth. Planets going retrograde. If things kind of feel like they're not moving as fast as they should, just realize it's divine timing at work and it's okay. So just putting that out there for those of you who are going to be frustrated because you're type A and you want to make things happen. And I get that. But there's also divine timing and we need to work hand in hand with that. So let's celebrate our patience waiting for our stuff to arrive in some fun and joyful way. I'm going to choose one of these dice. I'm closing my eyes. Which one will it be? Okay, everyone, buy more shoes. This is a very Taurian way of celebrating. If you're going to take a long journey that slow and steady wins the race, you're going to want to have comfy shoes to walk that path in. Beautiful. Our feet are the place where our holy, spiritual, embodied self touch the planet. And so these beautiful, earthly, divine things meet right where we wear our awesome, hopefully sexy, comfy shoes for our journey towards success, abundance, and thriving. Ooh, and look at this wonderful other Taurus way of rewarding ourselves. We got a bonus because the face is up. Get a massage. Maybe a foot massage. If your shoes are still being broken in and you have new, sexy, but they're not quite comfortable yet shoes, maybe get a massage. Whatever that means to you. However you want to celebrate. Beautiful. Okay, everyone, this looks like a majorly encouraging month, and I'm excited for all of us. I hope that we take this Uranian aha moment, inspiration, our soul's purpose, our the feeling of being compelled to pursue a higher calling, and we take all the new moon, beautiful intention energy to balance our emotions and our mind, and the full moon culmination energy to crystallize that into 3D reality in a responsible and sustainable way, the way that Saturn wants us to do. We take our own sovereign authority for our own life. We realize we have heroic alchemical fire. We've got the Emperor over all. We've got Archangel Michael fostering us through this entire process. Beautiful. And we stay heart-based and loving of ourselves and everyone else. And we realize that our stuff is on the way. And we're patient. We buy more shoes in the meantime, get a massage, and be good to ourselves. Wonderful. Thank you so very much for joining me for this reading. If you would like your own reading, I do personal readings. You can find my readings page on the services page at shinyallthetime.com, shinyallthetime.com/services. Whatever you purchase off of that page, I will be happy to serve you in any way that is available there. Wonderful. And until next time, get out there, stay shiny. Energy looks fabulous for this month, and I will see you next time.